Alright, good morning and welcome back. Like I told you earlier, today we're going to be talking about Martin Insurance and the state of the insurance sector as well. And like I've seen, a lot of people have some questions, and the right man to answer them is with us today is Mr. Godfrey Kiptum, who is the Acting Commissioner of Insurance and the CEO of the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you.
I guess first of all, congratulations on celebrating 10 years of IRA. But the first question would be, I guess, and that's what people are asking, what exactly does the Insurance Regulatory Authority do?
Thank you, Willis. The authority celebrates 10 years today since it transitioned from the former Commissioner of Insurance Office to IRA. This transition happened in the year 2007 with the enactment of the Insurance Act amendment. So since then, the authority, of course, has a mandate to regulate, supervise, and develop the insurance industry. We also have a mandate of protecting insurance beneficiaries and consumers. And in this instance, if consumers have issues with their insurance policies or covers, then they can come to us. We can be able to assist them and get them sorted out by the various insurance companies or the complaints that they may be having. And for your information, the Commissioner has powers to direct insurance companies to sort out those complaints and claims from insurance policy holders.
So what are some of the complaints? Like somebody were wondering, okay, so what kind of complaints do I take to IRA?
The most complaints that we have received are on delays of payment. There are also complaints on misunderstanding what the policy covers, what it excludes, and what is it that these insurance consumers must do to be able to keep those policies in cover. At times also there is also delay in settlement of premiums. So that also becomes a problem, because if you do not pay your premium, then you don't expect to be on cover. And at times, of course, that process of payment of premiums to the insurance becomes delayed, and as it is now, the law provides that it must be on cash and carry. We have not been able to get this 100%, but that is what we want to do, and that is where we are moving into in the coming days.
Okay. All right. So of course the industry has registered some growth. It's been 10 years. What are some of the things you can say, like the milestones and the growth that we've experienced over this period of a decade?
What has happened is that over the period of time, the premiums have grown from a region of 40s. Now we are 195 billion in the last 10 years. We have also had a number of insurance companies coming in from the region and international that have seen the market in Kenya has grown. For your information, Willis, Kenya is the fourth largest insurance market in the continent, after South Africa, Morocco, and Egypt. We come third. Of course, in East Africa, we are the biggest. But of course, we don't want to rest on our laurels, and we want to keep on pushing, increase the level of penetration and inclusivity, so that we get most Kenyans covered, most Kenyans protected through insurance.
So of course, even as you know, the numbers increased, and that's well and good. And also, so what is happening in terms of consumer protection, in terms of are there new policies that are being introduced as well? And there's also something that's very interesting. In fact, just earlier we were having a conversation about those who are engaged in like fraud, insurance fraud. Is there something that's being done in that regard as well?
Yes, the authority in 2011 set up an investigation unit. We call it the Insurance Fraud Investigation Unit, of course with the assistance of the DCI, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. And since then we've been working together with that unit, the police and everybody else, to ensure that this kind of criminals are brought to book. And over time we have had a number of successes. And what of course we find is that crime is extremely prevalent in the medical sector, and that is what has really made medical covers to be expensive, because then when you are factoring on your premiums, you have to factor into those issues of fraud, people getting into cards that are not biometric or photo cards, and then they use it. People use it, but it is really funny the way our society is behaving. A few years ago, somebody was telling me that I have a medical cover, but I must use it. They are not sick, but they feel they want to go and test it.
The whole thing before
the end. Yeah, it is a terrible thing that a habit that we have, and this is something that we are educating our consumers to get out of it. Use it when you need it. If you don't need it, then don't waste it. And of course, insurance is a pooling concept, that those who have no issues assist those who get challenges in the course of the year. That is the essence of insurance.
And so of course, the question then would be, yes, there's fraud that exists. So how do I ensure, for example, that what are the things I should look at to make sure that, okay, this insurance company that I'm getting into is legitimate, so that I don't get into the fraud?
Of course, the authority licenses all insurance companies. We license all agents and other intermediaries, be it brokers and everybody else. So you can always ask IRA. We have an SMS service that you can query. It will give you an answer whether that agent is registered, whether that medical insurer provider is registered. But of course, in terms of medical facilities, that is the photo of the Ministry of Health. But of course, I want to believe that most providers are operating legally. I also want to believe that the intermediaries that are selling those covers are legally registered. But of course, people being who they are and the cunningness of Kenyans, at times these people will pass through the cracks, and so there would be a number of such kind of fraudsters. But of course, over time, we have also managed to take a number of them to court, which we believe is a deterrent, or will provide deterrents to those kind of people.
So say I have a case where, you know, I've been in this policy, maybe I've been paying, and then I find out that it's fraudulent business. So what is the process of coming to IRA in terms of to register a complaint?
What you would do is that you can come to us, you can write to us, you can send an email, any means of communicating to us. So once you communicate to us, then we will get in touch with you, get in touch with your insurer, or if you had gone through an intermediary, we'll get in touch with every player. Then we understand where the problem has arisen, and we will be able to direct on how to sort it out, or how to settle such matter. Maybe just also to bring you up to speed, we also did standardized insurance contracts, the wordings for a number of them, so that we make it easier for the consumers to understand. They can read in plain English, understand what the cover provides for, what is not provided for, and what you need to do to make sure that that cover is continuously in place. One of the things, of course, that you need to do is to pay your premium and adhere to policy conditions that would be there. And since they are now standardized and the language is plain and simple, many consumers would be able to understand what it really means. We have also had a number of initiatives in terms of consumer education, and we have gone out to the public. We have shown them what it is, what insurance really is all about. And these initiatives have been taken all over the country, and we are having quite a success in that area.
And of course, another big area is technology. And you know, you've talked about how easy it is now. You know, if you have a problem, email, SMS, and all this. So how else is the IRA leveraging on technology, you know, to make it a little bit more better for the consumer?
For the industry, we are encouraging them to adopt technology, to sell, distribute, and whenever a company comes to us with the digital solutions and platforms, we normally would approve, so long as it protects the interests of the consumers and that they are not also exposed. On the front of the authority, we did install a system in 2012 that would enable us to regulate better, receive monthly returns, because we get monthly returns, quarterly returns, and annual returns. These returns, we get them on of course, those periods, and we need to analyze them. So we did deploy a system that assists us to quickly analyze, get back to the insurance companies that we need to, and ask them to do ABCD or whatever that is required. Also, this system enables registration, and now agents, brokers can apply for their registration online, and even insurance companies, they don't have to come to us. If you are in Kitale, if you are in Mandera, if you are in Garissa, you get into the online platform and apply for your license. It will be approved, and you get your license back online. You can print wherever you are. We can also print for you and send it to you, the ones with security features. And we think it has made life simpler for Mwananchi.
Right, and of course that's the end target is of course the Mwananchi. And so there's also, you know, developing more capacity in terms of what else are you doing, because, you know, there's a lot of work, like you said, there's been a growth. So what are we doing in terms of also capacity building?
We have, of course, had an initiative that has been very successful. We did enter into an MOU with the John Cass Business School in the UK to train actuaries. This we started in 2012, and so far we have trained about 33 Kenyans, and out of them we have had 7 persons who have qualified as fellows of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries of UK and Scotland. And this is a great program. So these people that we train, we do a very, what do we call, rigorous selection process that gives us those candidates. We sponsor 5 of them per year. We send them to UK, they come back, they work for IRA for 1 year. Once they complete that working for us for 1 year, then we release them to the market. And they have all been absorbed so far, the ones we have trained. And we are very happy with the program. The continent is copying it. The Association of Insurance Organizers for Africa has copied that program. The Nigeria regulator is also borrowing the concept from us, and we're working with them so that they can put in place such a concept. They also intend to take students to CAS Business School for actuarial training, and it is a very successful program. This has also enabled us to make sure that insurance companies have risk controls that they manage themselves, and they can be able to give us quality feedback on our checks.
Right, and also I understand you're also doing some trainings for police officers, and you also have insurance champions that you're training across the country as well.
Yes, we are training police so that they can be able to understand what insurance is about. They can be able to assist Mwananchi to enforce his rights at that level, be it accidents, be it fraud, or whatever it is that they get involved in. Initially we started with the traffic police, but now we have built on that program and expanded it to other levels of the police force, and we are having a quite success. We have of course detailed the College of Insurance to run this program for us, and they're doing a fantastic job. We also have identified champions within the communities, and we have a number of programs that have been running and will continue to run in the coming years to train champions within the community so that they can explain the concept of insurance, which, as of course you know, is not an easy concept. But since you have now leaders in the community who understand and that can be able to explain to Mwananchi, is a good thing that we think in the coming years will assist us to demystify the concept, and of course also change the perception that people have had of insurance in the past.
All right, so of course you know, the IRA is involved in a lot of CSR as well. Maybe you can touch on that as well. And also a question would be like, so we have done 10 years, so what is the future of insurance as well? So it can be like
the future is bright. We, of course, as I earlier alluded to, we need to drive that penetration from the current less than 3% to about 6% in the coming years, and we see the future is very bright. We are working with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development so that we have a curriculum that addresses the needs of young people, and we capture the youth from that age and build on them and drive in the concept of insurance, so that by the time they are able to buy, then they already understand and they know what they need to do. In terms of your question was on CSR, yes. The authority has engaged in a number of activities over the past few years. We have engaged medical institutions like the Kenyatta National Hospital, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital in Kisumu, and have quite given them equipment worth about 5 million or so. We have been to Mombasa General Hospital, Machakos. We also have supported the hospice to raise money, the Nairobi Hospice, the Nyeri Hospice, over the past few years. We also did support an institution called the CPRSK, Cerebral Palsy Society of Kenya, for about 4 years. We now left them to run on their own because we think they have come of age, and now we are looking at other institutions to support in the medical sector, education, and in fact afforestation. Maybe just to add is that we also had a number of afforestation programs that we have run in Kwale, Kiambu, and with the Kenya Forest Service. We did plant trees at Ngong Forest some times back, and we are running that program. As we do ECOP training, we also do tree planting in most of the places that we visit, and we think that the people who are on the ground can be able to take care of those trees, so that we just don't plant trees and we leave them there.
Right, and also just again we'll end just like we began in terms of reporting, so they can go. What are some of the platforms? Can they go to the website also to?
Yes, they can go to the website, they can report on the social sites. We run a social site. They can come to our office, they can write, they can call, and we have a toll-free line that can be used which we will provide to you so that you can be able to disseminate,
right,
so that people can use it to call. But of course, also, as you know, Willis, we are running an exhibition currently at the KICC, and we are asking people to go to the exhibition. They will get all the information they require from the companies. IRA is there, the insurance companies are there, the brokers are there, and many of the players in the insurance industry are currently exhibiting at KICC. We also have an insurance convention that is running, the first of its kind in this country, which is running. It began yesterday, and it was graced by the CS National Treasury, and it is still running today. We will, of course, end the convention today and have a gala dinner to culminate and ground the celebrations for the 10 years anniversary. But of course, this is not the end of it. We shall continue to engage citizens of this country as we move forward from today until the end of the year. But of course, our consumer education activities, training of champions, training of agents in the country, because we want to build this number to get to about 10,000 or so in the coming years. And as you may already know, we have been having a program running for the last few years. We have covered 34 counties, and we have the balance of 14 counties or so, which we need to finish by the coming financial year. Of course, 2018-2019, we shall have covered the whole country, and we think by that we shall have grown the agency workforce, which are the foot soldiers for the insurance sector.
Right. All right. So, like I said, thank you so much, Mr. Godfrey Kiptum. He's the Acting Commissioner of Insurance and the CEO of the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can go ahead to the website. That's ira.go.ke, and then you can also go to the exhibition, like you say, that's happening at the KICC. So you have today, you can walk there, and of course you can also go to their offices if you have any questions. So there's a lot of ways. Don't suffer if you have any questions and queries on insurance as well. So coming up next, we have Joy Mudengi and the panel, the Deal With It panel. They're going to be talking about several issues. So you want to talk to them. The hashtag to use is my broadcast. The SMS line is 22422. Stay with us.